Hello folks, and welcome back to my channel, the Scottish Model Railway Guy. So what are we looking at? Right now you've got three different fields. This would be part one over here, this sort of corner here that you can just see, and that was done with scatter grass. This would be attempt number two, where I've tried to make the scatter grass look a little bit better by dropping some, I don't know what you call these wee green things, but it's like little bits of green clumpy scatter that's meant to look like bushes, and it looks good, it looks okay. And this is part three, where I've actually done what I would say is proper static grass. Now, what did I use to do the static grass? I used this, the Hornby Scale Scenics puffer bottle, and I used this R7178 Hornby Scale Scenics meadow grass, which is actually static grass. I think it's 2.5mm long. Now, what you can notice straight away is this one looks smoother. It looks slightly more realistic, I think. I think in the grand scheme of things, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this one because it's a field with animals in it. As is, it should be sort of churned up. This one here, I'm going to go right across and right round the corner, which I'll try to show you here. From this angle you can see it really does make a difference to it, and I think it sort of shows you the difference between standard scatter grass and static grass. Now, getting it to stand up is the hard bit. I'm going to zoom in and see if I can get a bit of focus on it, and you can see, yeah, it is actually standing up, kinda. If you want to make it absolutely brilliant, you're going to have to buy the static grass applicator, which costs quite a lot of money. But I think the effect that I got once you're down there is pretty decent. Going round to the other field, you can see the difference between the scatter and the other one. And I'm going to show you today how that was done. So hang on, we're going to switch to Hyperlapse, and we're going to have a look very quickly at how I managed to put that together. And I think all in all, the scenes are beginning to come together, but it's this that's going to make the huge difference. And just as the train passes, you'll sort of understand how that makes the massive difference. Look to the right, look to the left, and you can see the difference in quality between the two, which is important. And I'm just trying to frame the scene here so you can understand how that difference looks when you see it from a little bit further out. Yeah, that is miles better than where it was. And I'm going to nip to some other angles here so that you can see that and just sort of understand it. But I'm also going to show you some of the other stuff that I was working on in the background and where I tested. Now, where I tested was here. And the reason I tested here was because if I made a mess of this zone, it's quite easily scraped off because it's right at the edge and it's right at the sort of peripheries of where I've got to. But one of the other things I had saw, and it was on Instagram, because I do have the Instagram channel as well, if you pop past that if you choose. But I had saw some really clever use of the technique to make edges like this look aged and weathered. I'm just going to brush away some of the work I did yesterday, and I'll tidy that up in a wee bit. Or I might leave it in a clump there actually, that looks quite good. But we'll see. Either way, I brought about change with this little piece here, and I think it looks okay. It's going to take a lot of work in this zone to get it to a place, but it is getting there. But yeah, this is where I started testing it, and then I shifted over to here. Now, I think this was the bit where I decided, yes, I'm going to do this. I'm going to attempt to over scatter grass to see what happens and bring that sort of scene to life, and I think it's worked, particularly here. It stood up quite well with a puffer bottle in this zone, and I think it's brought realism to this area that was never there before, and it's done a fantastic job of shifting the layout on in multiple places. And I guess the lesson is that you have to, as your layout begins to progress, you have to make those choices. Yes, it looked good, it looked okay, but I want to try and take it to that level that I see at some of the model railway shows. It's going to take a lot of work, it's going to take months and years, no doubt, but hopefully I've got time on my side. And you can see it's been done in this area too, and I've managed to get it to stand up there not too bad. I've also got a wee railing around that unit. But yeah, when you see the train passing it, it's a completely different thing now, isn't it? It's not as bare, it's not as bland, and it really does bring it to life. And you can see there's opportunities off here in the distance to do it in the hillsides too. And all in all, I'd call that a success. I think there's a lot more to do, but for me, it's the early stages of changing the quality of the layout and where it is, which is a 5 out of 10 to a potential, I don't know. You can make your own judgment on it, to be honest. But yeah, to take it to another place, and that is the point, to never stop shifting it on. But anyway folks, that's us. Thanks for watching, thanks for coming this far. I hope you enjoyed this one, I hope you learned something too, because I certainly did. And that is that your model railway never really ends. So if you want to keep following my model railway, then please do. If you'd like to throw me a like or a subscribe, it's always appreciated. And thank you folks, I will see you again.